Hey everyone, welcome back to Newtown Orchard.
So our big project is we're going to make a heated propagation table. So basically what that is when we first start plants, if their roots are nice and warm, then they grow so much better. And especially here in Missouri, our spring's temperature can fluctuate 30 degrees in the matter of a day or two. So we want to make sure that our plants stay as healthy as we can and that they can grow as well as we can for our customers. What we're going to do is we're going to make a table that's going to hold 12 of the standard 10-20 trays, and that's what these trays are here. That's where you put all your plants in them to move them around. If I put 72 seedlings in a tray, I can get over 800 seedlings on this table. So we took the 2x4s and we cut them to 89 inches. That's going to be our interior dimension. If you measure these 8 trays side by side, it's 88 inches. So we have 1 inch wiggle room. And then we're going to do 1 on each side. I can't get that quite over. And then 1 down the middle. And then it's going to be, the inside dimensions will be 33 inches deep. And that measurement is 32. So again, we have another inch. So we're just going to assemble this and we will bring you along on all the different steps. I'm just going to put 2 in. So we cut the legs at 32 inches long. And the reason we did it that way is because that gets us exactly 3 legs out of 1 2x4x8. We're using 3 1/8 inch screws. 2x4 and 2x4 is really 1.5 inch thick, so that means it's 3 inches thick. So if I went straight down, the screw comes out the other end, and that's what happened on the other 2 legs, and I learned. Okay, now that the legs are all in, we're going to put some diagonal supports because this is going to hold a lot of weight, and so we're going to put some supports to hold the legs so that it's nice and firm. So we're going to cut these at an angle, probably 40 or 45 degrees. So let's see. Oh boy, I was spot on.
What is it?
40 degrees. We've done all the legs and supports on this side. Now we flip and repeat. So this is the size of our heated propagation table. This is just the supports. This is just that pink insulation. It's rigid that you can get at the hardware store. This is 1.5 inch thick. And we put it onto the table and we have it flush to this corner here. And then I'm just going to use a permanent marker and mark the bottom so that I know where to cut it. Okay? Then we're going to flip it over and we'll use a straight edge and we will cut that line. And cutting this foam is actually very easy to do. So we're going to cut the short end first because we're going to use this for one of the side pieces. Right now I'm just kind of scratching. I'm not worried about going all the way deep. And if you don't have a long straight edge like this, you can use a 2x4 or even a level or something. So I'm going one more time. This time I'm going a little bit deeper. I'm still not going all the way through. And I'm just gonna, there we go. And push it. It gives you a nice, beautiful cut. There we go. So when, this will be part of the end wall. And again, just wash, rinse, and repeat. So that these pieces eventually will come up like this and they'll be the side wall of our table. I need you to push on. That's one wall. There's the second wall. When we screw through this foam, if I just use a screw, it's going to go straight through the foam and there's nothing that's going to hold it on. So we have these nails that we use when we put our siding house wrap on. So we're just going to use them as washers. Okay, so we've got all of the pink insulation on. We actually measured a little bit wrong when we were figuring out how much we needed, and we were short. So we had some extra foam insulation from another project that we just put on this end. I imagine if you didn't have it, you could put a 2x4 or something on this end. It wouldn't be a big deal. The next step is we're going to cover it with plastic, and that's going to prevent any sand or dirt from getting into the seams. Okay, so we moved the table into the garage. This is where it's going to live as we propagate our plants. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put some peat moss and pine bark on top of the table. Some people use sand. We don't have sand right now. This is what we have, and I've done some research, and there are people who do this as well. And then we're going to put the heated wire, and what we're using is it's a de-icer for a roof and gutter. So when it's plugged in, it has a thermostat, but it gets to about 90 degrees-ish, and we'll test that to find out exactly how warm it gets. But it will keep all of the medium, the peat moss and pine bark, it'll keep it warm, and then the plants will grow really well. So let's start filling up the box. We don't have to put too much on. We just want to put enough so that the wire doesn't touch directly on the plastic. I'm thinking I can take this tote and just dump it. Just spreading it around. Yeah, we're probably gonna need a little bit more. We laid the heating wire on the table, and they're about 3 to 4 inches apart, all of the different lines. We use these blocks just to weigh them down so that they would stay even. So the next step is to take more of this potting medium, and we're gonna just put it on top to weigh down these wires so we can get rid of the blocks, and then our trays will sit right on top of here. So watch while we do that. So I'm going to kind of screed this. What we want to do is we want it to be as level as possible. That way, when we water, the water doesn't pool to one side and leave some of the plants dry. It's never going to be perfect, but we will get it as level as possible, so there's no high spots or low spots. Right now the soil, planting medium, whatever the cover, is about 53 degrees Fahrenheit. And we're going to plug it in and we'll come back in about an hour and see how it does. For the heated table, we're going to put an arch over on top of it so that we can put some plastic on it. And what that will do is that will keep the humidity and the heat inside against the plants. It will also have an added bonus of keeping the cats out of it. So we have, this is chain link fence tensioning wire, and we're going to cut it at about 70 inches, and we're going to put it on the table to make little ribs. The final step is to put the plastic on, and we just put it over the top. We taped it to secure so we can still have access to get in quite easily. The plastic will keep the humidity inside, and it will also keep the cats out of the heating table. So our last step is to put the plants in. It's been a few hours. Let's check the temperature. "82 degrees, 83.